Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to today's video. If you guys haven't checked out the last video, make sure you check it and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you guys are notified of all latest videos, because we're moving at a fast pace and you guys don't want to miss it. So hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell, and we'll move on. And also make sure you give it a thumbs up before you forget. Let's get into today's video. So in the last video, we got Jason's truck here. It's a Dakota RT as well, also a 99. And we're working on the engine. So in the last video, we completely stripped out everything, removed all the stuff that we're not going to use. Stock cam is out, stock heads are off, and we are ready to start assembling the new and the fun stuff. So Jason's over here getting everything ready to go. I think we got most of the new parts, right?
Roger. Yep.
So here's what we got, you guys. We're putting brand new lifters in. We've got a Mopar double roller timing set, and it's kind of cool. It actually has the three adjustable keyways, so it's got the dot to dot you can do, -4 or +4 degrees depending on where you're at. Also, he's got adjustable rockers, I believe, so these are 1.6s, and it's got some Edelbrock hardware, it looks like. Got a bunch of stuff. Here's the comp cams. I might share the specs with you. I got to double check with Flying Ryan because that came from him. And we also have the Indy X heads that were prepared from Brian at IMM Engines. So he went through them, made sure they're good to go. It's got all new valve guides and all that stuff, and we should be ready to rock on those. Also, we have the ARP head studs, and you got some new gaskets, right?
Yeah, your gaskets.
So, and then we got new head gaskets. So we're gonna bolt this thing up, you guys. We got all the heads all cleaned up, ready to go. So we'll get sorted out. We'll get that cam in here and get it adjusted and degreed. Keep going. All right, guys, here we go. Cam is going in. We're gonna lube this thing up and install this thing in here. So we put the keyway in the front, and we'll get it in here in just a second. Here we go. She's going in.
Slowly.
Let's watch that back one there. That's it. She's in. Cool. Okay, we got the cam plate on the front. He's just torquing it down to 210 inch-pounds, and then we can throw our timing set on. Okay, so here's the three-way adjustable timing set. What you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna hang it. We're gonna just do it at the 0-degree factory setting for now, because our cam does have, you said it has 3 degrees built into it, right? Or 2 degrees?
Should have 2 degrees built in.
So should be okay this way, but we're obviously gonna double check it. We're gonna check everything with the timing wheel and stuff like that in a second here. So anyways, the dot lines up with that dot right there. So our zero, there you go, our zeroed out dot. And I'm gonna hang it on there for now. We're gonna make sure everything's dot to dot. So we're gonna have to turn our cam to line up with the keyway. Our crank hasn't moved, so we're still at number 1 at TDC. So let's get this thing on there. Okay, so I'm gonna turn our camshaft. I'm just gonna use this to turn it to where we need to be, which should be somewhere over here. Might be a little bit off still. Yeah, it's gotta be over here where the keyway is, so you guys can probably figure out a way to turn it, but I'm gonna use the actual wheel to turn it. Should be right around there. Little bit more. Okay guys, so we got our timing set on, and we got it aligned. So if you look down here, we are dot to dot. Like I said, we're just gonna zero it out factory settings for now. We'll check it all with the degree wheel in a minute, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in. I'm pretty confident we should be okay. Either way, this has to go in, so put in our distributor gear in. And just so you guys know, see this slot on the top? It almost goes parallel with the truck like that, but it's gonna be just turned slightly towards the number 1 cylinder, so that's the way it's gonna go in. Okay, so we'll drop this in here and just pay attention to dropping it in. You got it there. Okay, lower it in, and then we'll get a light and we'll double check, and I'll show you guys where it's at. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see that angle where the slot is, and it's pointed right at number 1 cylinder, so it should be all right. So we're gonna move to the next step. I think what we're gonna do is Throw the heads on. We've already cleaned them all, prepped them all. We used razors to clean off all the head gaskets and stuff, so we're probably just gonna clean the surfaces a little bit, and then we'll throw the heads on. So everything's prepped, ready to go, and what we're doing right now is I've got the head over here. I'm using one of these C-clamp style valve spring compressors, and what we're doing is I'm gonna take off the 2 springs off cylinder number 1, so this head's gonna go on the driver's side. That way we can put the tester springs in here and we can check our correct push rod length. So I'm gonna take these 2 off and then we'll put the head on. Should be getting pretty close. I'm gonna have to mess with them a little bit. There you go. All right. You just pull it out. There we go. That's it. Good. Okay, so there's that. Let's do the other one. Okay, so here we're putting on the checking springs. They're just these really lightweight springs that you get with that jegs kit. I'll link it down in the description if you guys didn't see it in my last video. I'll link the other video on the official cam install on one of these engines, but we're just putting them in there. We're putting the retainers and the keepers in there. And then, yeah, we can go ahead and bolt this head on. We're probably gonna leave this head on. We are gonna leave the head on. And what we'll do is we'll use compressed air to hold the valves in, and we'll put these heavy duty springs back on after. All right, Jason and I are gonna throw the lifters in. So those are brand new Mopar lifters, and we're gonna just put some oil on them, put them in, and then if you guys don't know, there's a little oiling hole right there that faces up. So we'll throw all these in because once we put the heads on, there is some guys, I guess, that were able to get the lifters in and out with the heads on, but it's really tight, so we'll just do it now instead. Okay, so lifters are all in. We're just putting our retainers, and I don't know what the official name is for that thing. What is it? What are we calling it? Spider?
We call them the retaining spider.
That spider looking thing that goes across that holds all your retainers in place. All right guys, so I have all my degree wheels set up. We're just degreeing the cam right now. So I'm just finding true top dead center. I've got my piston stop right here. So what we're doing is we put it where we thought top dead center was, and then we go around until it smacks the piston stop. We record that number, go around the other way until it smacks the piston stop, record that number, add those 2 numbers together, divide by 2, and then you take that number that you've calculated and you go from either one of your original numbers, because that would be the true top dead center. So it's gonna take the difference between the 2 and put you in the middle. So that's what we're doing right now, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay guys, so we've got our degree wheel, and I know it looks really close, but I promise that our dial indicator isn't touching anything. And I've got it at 50 degrees or 50 duration of lift. And then I've got it at, ooh, if I don't touch this, it's at 51 here. So we've got it at 51 before bottom dead center. Is that what it is? Before bottom dead center?
Yep. Exhaust open, 51 before bottom dead center.
Okay, so you can see bottom dead center is here. I'm at 51, hopefully you can see. And now we're gonna go around until it's closing. The valve's closing at 50, and we'll record whatever this is here. So it should be the same. It should be the same as your cam card. So I don't know if I can show you the cam card, but you'll see at least those are all your specs there. I think I'm showing them the cam card. Okay, so now I'm at 50 degrees again. You can probably see it there. And then if you go over here, we're maybe, it looks like about 2 degrees after top dead center, and our card says it should be 1 after top dead center. So you're supposed to be within plus or minus 1 degree, which we are. So we're good. Okay guys, we're at 50 on lift on the intake, and we're at 47 degrees, which is what our cam card says. So got one last one to check, but or actually that's closed, right? 47's on the close.
Close 47 after bottom dead center.
Yeah, so that one's good, and we already checked the other ones, so we're good, we're good, we're good. All right, Jason's doing the weightlifting today. He's getting his exercise. Oh, there it is. You got my side. You gotta go up. Yeah.
Gonna go up a little bit.
Yeah. There it is. Boom.
Oh, we're probably just a little bit too low.
Yeah.
Hold that. Just a double check.
Yep. Okay. Put 2 in just to hold it for a second. It's starting to look like an engine. Okay, so we got one head hung on there. I just put a couple of the old bolts in there, and then we're gonna put ARP, but we're gonna hang the other head too, and then we're gonna go through the whole ARP assembly lube and torque sequence in a second. Also, we got the Felpro head gaskets. So Jason went ahead and got those. He was saying that they're stupid expensive, but they're like 50 bucks a side. So, but we got the good stuff on there, so we'll get that head on now. I think it goes
it's in the hole there.
That goes there.
Yeah, this one does just sit a little bit more forward.
Let me see if that threads a bolt in. Yep, that's it. So right now we're getting the ARP head bolts all sorted out, and these little washers have to go a certain way. So they have a chamfered side on it, and it goes towards the head of the bolt. So what we mean by that is, see that goes towards the head of the bolt according to ARP. So it goes up towards the head there, chamfered side. All right, guys, heads are on. ARP head bolts are all in. I haven't torqued them yet. I just put them in by hand tight. So now I'm gonna follow the torque sequence, and I'm gonna do 3 equal sets or sequences of torque to 100 foot-pounds. So I'll probably split it up around 30 foot-pounds each. Let's get it done. So we got Jason following the sequence. He's starting in the middle and kind of work up, down, and towards the outside. So that's pretty much it. So he's gonna go through, do the first set of 30 foot-pounds, and then we'll move on to the next, probably hit it up at 60 on the next round. All right, Jason's hitting the 60 foot-pounds. I just did my side, so while he does his side, I'm doing this side too. So you guys don't need to see both sides, the same thing. So we're just going crisscross pattern on the sequence. We're gonna hit it all in 60 pounds. So one thing I was saying to Jason too is when you use that ARP grease, they have like a special assembly lube or a lubrication for their torque specs. It's really deceiving. Like you'll push it and then you'll feel it like slip. So, but they want you to use their torque spec with their lube or whatever. I think they call it assembly lube or something like that. But you want to use their I guess lube. If you don't, then your torque specs will be way off. All right, here's the 100 foot-pound sequence. I already did mine. It's Jason's turn. Okay guys, so this is where we're gonna leave things. We ended up installing the pushrod guides, and we put the rocker studs on as well, and we were testing with our rockers as well because we had to measure for the correct pushrod length. So what we did was we had this adjustable pushrod, we stuck it in, and I'll show you guys more on that on the next video because I'm kind of gonna go a little bit more in depth. But I had to measure the push rods. We ordered them just in the nick of time so that they're gonna be here Friday, trying to get them Amazon Prime. So I'm gonna button some stuff up this week while Jason's at work and whatnot. So plan is hopefully by next weekend this thing will be running, but in the meantime I'll probably have some videos this week coming out when I get a chance to work on it in the evenings. I'll probably put the Hughes air gap on it, and while we wait for the push rods to show up, I'll get some more stuff buttoned up. So we also got a new water pump, since that water pump you guys probably saw was completely toast. And what else we get? I got a new distributor O-ring too, so it's sealed good. So a bunch of stuff on the way, but make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed with that bell turned on so you're notified of the latest videos and you don't miss out on this. I think this build's gonna go pretty fast, so we should have this thing running by next weekend. And we still got a bunch of other stuff to do, suspension work, so we're gonna get this thing back riding at a decent ride height for Jason. And then once it's all running and riding decent, then we'll probably do something with either paint or wrap or something to get this thing looking good again. So anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. We'll see you on the next one.